Good day, everyone. I'm Marina Ismael Michen from the Dow Chemical Company. I'm the business sustainability leader for the industrial solution business. And I'm here today with Christoph Girmann, the business development and account management at Agility Chemicals. Good morning, Christoph.
Hello, Marina. Nice to be here. I've always had three main, let's say, targets or ambitions, what I wanted to do, which was one, I wanted to work, with different countries, so kind of globally speaking to different cultures. So that was always my ambition. Secondly, I wanted to travel with my job. And last but not least, I didn't want a job where I have the same routine day in, day out. I finally landed in a logistics company like today, logistics service company, which is actually giving me that opportunity. I mean, I have to say, it's not all three is from day one. So it's a road you kind of start. So it's a process. But I can say that, let's say, the original targets I gave myself, I've completed. For me personally, my very first role model, I have to say, was my father, because he was born close when World War II ended, so difficult time in Germany. He was raised in a very, very little village in Germany. Family background also very challenging. But the story which inspires me is he achieved a short professional career in football, which was also my dream when I was a youngster. So that was fantastic to see that to have this as an inspiration, because then you believed in something. If you see something is achievable, then you believe in it, and then it empowers you, let's say, even more. And I mean, further, I mean, in his career, he after his let's say sportship career, he then started a career at on a vessel as an officer on a container vessel, and he was traveling the world. If you have a strong family and also friendship, that helps a lot. Safety net for me is something. I mean, if you fail on something, you have your safety net, your family, your friends, and sometimes it's about having an open ear to speak to someone and share the stress you have, and then you directly feel better. For me, inspiration is family, friends. I think network is also important. So your business network. I think I also take a lot of inspiration from the network. So I've always tried to talk to people, ask them questions, and I like to listen to other stories and take my learning, my inspirations out of that. If I would say what do they all have in common, I think they've all discussed in their career they were always open-minded. So I think that was something they all had in common. They always had ambition and targets, and probably the most important part, they had the passion, right? So they were always describing, they've enjoyed the journey and they've enjoyed each role and fulfilled this role with passion. And I think that's, that's also my belief. I mean, if you do something, do it with passion, because otherwise it kind of becomes a waste of your time, right? It's a bit of life is too short to do something you do not like. What I see as a general development, teams become more and more diverse and international. So it's for me, it's around building relationships, being able to have empathy opposite others, and work with global teams and different cultures, and this always made it for me personally very exciting.
As you know, EPCA is actively promoting STEM education to students, especially for young girls, by providing role models and inspiring stories from our industry. What are your thoughts and ideas on how we can motivate more youngsters to consider the petrochemical sector?
Yeah, so it's on one side. I mean, the chemical sector maybe has like a marketing issue. It's not probably seen generally in public too positively. So I think there's a lot of marketing activities we could do with more showcasing the good stuff which is happening. If you realize, I mean, if you look around you where everything has something to do with chemicals, which is interesting. So. For youngsters approaching that sector, I mean, I would give them the advice. It's a good industry to work in because especially the chemical sector is very internationalized. So it's from that perspective, it's very interesting because you will have to deal with global teams and colleagues, which makes work good fun, per my belief. The young generation is very active in fighting climate change. And if you look at the petrochemicals industry as such, I mean, they use a lot of a lot of energy, right? And they have to be part of the transformation. There's no way around this. And I mean, that's probably the story to tell to the youngsters. I mean, they can be part of that transformation, and they have to be part of that transformation. I mean, that will be ultimately important for the industry. We have seen studies. I mean, we have it's published, which is a fact, is that women for the same job earn less than male, right? And if that continues to be the case, then the financial decision will always be, okay, logically, finance, tells the women has to take care of the kids, because finance is, I mean, you have to, your bill to be paid. So and I think this is the root cause, and therefore I do believe that we, in regards to policies, politics need to think about, okay, how can we make sure that we achieve equal payment? And I know, I mean, you see it in media, it's becoming more and more a topic, but we've still not reached the phase where it's really equal. For me, having young kids, it's not a part-time job, it's also a full-time job having kids. So it's I do understand, that you have to do part-time, but it currently still seems that sometimes it's like, okay, if you work part-time, then you cannot build or cannot continue your career, which I think is a misconception, because then it's only about quantity, while in fact a promotion or development should be around quality rather than quantity. And I think that's where companies can further develop to allow people, especially women, to develop even if part-time, because that's not impacting their quality, it's only impacting their quantity. On one side, I thought, it's good to see progress, because that's something, and that has been accomplished, which is good to see. And what I found really fascinating to see, that you have also studies and facts which clearly show that if you have a diverse team culture within your company, then the likelihood to outperform is much higher, right? And therefore, I think diversity should be the top priority of company, because that will make sure that they outperform. So I do believe, because of that, because that's also facts, that companies will do and will continue to progress. The study also said that people do get or develop the most if they switch departments, right? So if they continuously get challenged and do new stuff. And especially in middle management, I see sometimes the dilemma that you as a middle management, you have a very high performing colleague. And the last thing you want probably to do is see him leaving, right? Because he's your best performer. But I think from top management, there needs to be an incentive mechanism for middle management where they kind of push them, okay, if, make sure that especially your high performers get the chance of further developing, because that will be ultimately at the end important for the companies.
Could you comment on the main challenge for the petrochemical industry focused on the supply chain piece? How could we find the right balance between cost, flexibility, and sustainable solutions?
We need to make sure globally that we take youngsters with us, so that policies and regulations are not only done for the older generation. We need to bridge everything also to the younger generation, and we see that today, fighting climate change, Fridays for Future, etc., where youngsters are really engaged, and we have to make sure that we continue to empower them and make them part of the transformation. Currently, supply chains are broken. I mean, I've not seen logistics and supply chain being that representative in the media like today, right? And because it's impacting everyone, all right? You are used to order something today and have it today or tomorrow, which is kind of changing at the moment, right? Because you see, okay, something is not working in the system, and I think this, supply chain disruption or broken supply chain, I would rather call it. I see also clear trend for more local sourcing, which I would hope is also then having a positive impact on sustainability, because then it kind of results into less kilometers, which is also then having an impact on the climate. I see that the process has started, but it needs to accelerate at a much faster pace, and I think that's also coming more and more, especially from the youngsters, and we have to start listening more to the youngsters and make sure that we achieve a faster process.